Good evening. Thanks. Like my fellow inductees have said, I want to congratulate all of them as well. And I don't know about you guys, but you probably all have the same experience I did in your time here as a student walking through Warner Center. And it's hard not to go through there and look at the plaques and check out the trophies. And I don't know if any of you guys have had this moment yet, but I took a walk through there earlier today, and I was not expecting to see that plaque in my face staring back at me on the wall. But that was definitely a lump in the moment, or a lump in the throat moment. So that let me know right there. This is a very special thing, and I'm very excited for it. So thank you very much to the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me. It really means a lot. Part of that walk was also going down to Wilson Field and to be there with my boys, show them where Dad played. That definitely was the highlight of today. Teammates, obviously they all had a great role in my success, but more so, kind of as Christine touched on, what I took away from that time was really more the friendships I made and still have today. And unfortunately, none of them make it tonight, but I will see a lot of them tomorrow, so I'll look forward to that. Thank you to all the administrators, people in the background, that so many people, like Michael said, that we don't have time to name tonight, but I will name two individually, and that's my head coaches, Coach Frank Mariello and Coach Norris Aldridge. Thank you not only for teaching me the skills of my sport, but your unwavering faith in an unproven freshman. You made me an integral part of your teams, and I'm going to kind of tell you a little more of the story that Bo just gave from Brian Meehan and Christian Batcher about my start, at least from my perspective. Like you heard, I was playing a wide receiver when I started as a freshman, and by week one at Johns Hopkins, I had earned a role as kickoff returner. So I can remember I'm back to field, the opening kickoff of the season, and I'm extremely nervous, shaking, and sure enough, first play of my career, ball's headed straight my way. So I get under the field and it's just like nothing works. Hands don't move. Ball hits me right in the chest, bounces forward a couple yards. Naturally, I panic, scramble after it. I've scooped it up, and no sooner have I looked up than three Hopkins players are right there on top of me, taking me to the ground. The turf grabs a hold of my legs somehow. In a matter of one tackle, I come away with 2 sprained ankles and 1 sprained knee. So needless to say, I wasn't playing week 2. I actually did heal it by week 3, and I think I contributed all of 1 catch. And I like the way that my teammates and people remember the story. Mark, I believe, had mono, and that's what put him out for the season, not a torn ACL. But it was in that 4th week, I'm in my dorm, and I get a call from our offensive coordinator, Coach Gene McCabe. And he says, Mark has mono, you're going to be our starting tailback. So, like what Bo was telling you that story from Brian, yeah, I was out there at the whiteboard with Coach McCabe. I had 2 days, basically, to learn the entire playbook from an entirely different position. So we go into that Saturday's game against Macon, and let me tell you, I like the way they remember it better because it was less than stellar. The notable statistics were 2 holding penalties and 2 fumbles, both for turnovers. The second of which gave Randolph-Macon the ball back with about a minute left in the game. And the ensuing defensive series, I really remember as clearly as anything in my career. It seemed to unfold in slow motion, because I watched as Randolph-Macon picked up 10 and 15 yards at a time, marching down the field to finally score and beat us 30-23. And amongst these feelings of guilt and failure and anger, I also realized I really, really care about this team and its future. I think I was also concerned that I had squandered the opportunity to be a part of that future. But I was back in the starting lineup the following week, and it's because my head coaches never lost faith in me. I finally began to have some of that success that you've heard some about the following week. So thank you again, Coach Mariello and Coach Aldridge. You continued to challenge me, not only on the field but off it. You gave me opportunities to lead, speak for, and represent my teammates in this university. And those opportunities allowed me to grow and learn that ways I would have never have had. So thank you. Finally, my parents. Mom, I always felt like you were a best friend. I could come to you with anything and everything, and you were there for me in my highs and lows. You're so approachable because your outlook on life is simple. It's happiness. You just want everyone to be happy in whatever it is they do. And you provided that for me by allowing me to do all the things that brought me the most joy. And I know even if having to sit there and watch me get pummeled over and over wasn't the most enjoyable thing for you, but thank you. Now, when I found out I was going to be inducted tonight, the first person I called was my dad. And the usual remarks of, "That's awesome," or "Congratulations," weren't forthcoming. Instead, it was, well, good. I was wondering when they were going to do that. And in my mind, that just sums up my dad completely as my number one fan and my biggest advocate. Of the 45 games in my career, he missed only 2. And many of those 43 trips involved quite extensive travel, now, which I know is not unique to any WNL athlete parent, as Christina already mentioned. But I can remember some extreme examples. For example, he would be at my brother's Friday night high school football game in San Antonio. He would then immediately get in his car and drive 3 hours to Houston to jump on the only red-eye flight that got him to where he needed to be the next day. And then, of course, get in a rental car and drive another hour or more to the game. Dad, I can't imagine how exhausted you must have been at some of my games, but I want you to know that your efforts meant the world to me. It wasn't until you'd arrive, usually during warm-ups, and I'd find you up in the stands, and we'd make eye contact, and you kind of give me that little nod as to say, "Hey, go get him," that I ever truly felt ready to play. So Mom and Dad, I feel like this recognition night speaks more, as much if not more so about you guys as it does about me. It speaks to your success in giving me every opportunity in the world, being there to support and motivate me all along the way. And I can't express to you how much I love you guys for that, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.